You're watching the FBN Nightly News Roundup, bringing you the latest in Jewish news from around the world. Here is your host.
Good evening, it's Monday, August 17th, Gimel Elul, and welcome back to the FBN Nightly News Roundup. Speaking to a crowd in Iowa this weekend, Donald Trump vehemently re-emphasized his disapproval of the Iran deal crafted by Secretary of State John Kerry last month. Trump said, quote, "Well, you're going to have to use forceful action. Israel was sold out by Kerry and Obama. You cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. When they march down the street saying death to Israel, death to the United States, you can't let it happen. It will not happen. Believe me, it will not happen here." This is not the first time that Trump has utilized pro-Israel statements or mentioned Israel's defense during his venture to win the Republican primary. Referring to Obama as one of the worst things that has happened to the Jewish state, Trump has attempted to position himself as the only solution to repairing the Israel-America relationship, which he argues has been ruined by the Obama administration. In a recent interview, he stated that he is the only true supporter of Israel in the 2016 presidential race. His candor may be a bit confusing, however, as nearly all 13 GOP hopefuls have been forthcoming with their commitment to Israel and have all condemned Obama's policies towards Israel, as well as the president's treatment of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Speaking to reporters, Trump said, "The only candidate that's going to give real support to Israel is me. The rest of them are all talk, no actions. They're politicians."
You are going to love President Trump. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
In an effort to highlight his long-term support, Trump listed off various plaques and awards he has received over the years from Jewish organizations, commending him for his commitment to the Jewish state. Councilman David G. Greenfield is inviting the New York community to watch the 6th annual Greenfield Classic softball game this Tuesday, August 18th at 7:30 p.m. The Greenfield Classic is a friendly end-of-summer softball game between the NYPD's 66th Precinct and the Borough Park Shemrin. Community members are invited to come and bring their family and friends. Free snacks will be provided. The entrance to view the softball game is on 20th Avenue between 53rd and 54th Street. Greenfield started this tradition his first year as councilman in 2010. Last year, NYPD won against Shemrin 10-7. Today, former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee said he is heading to Israel this week to raise money and meet with a number of officials to discuss the Obama administration's nuclear deal with Iran. The presidential hopeful said the deal would essentially arm and equip a terrorist state. He says, quote, "The Iranian government is not to be trusted." Huckabee did not specify which officials he'd meet with. His campaign spokeswoman, Alice Stewart, declined to say whether he would meet with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, citing security concerns. She says the campaign will disclose details of the brief trip when he returns. Hunger-striking Israeli prisoner Mahmoud Alon was transported to Barzilai Hospital in Ashkelon last week after doctors at Soroka Medical Center in Beersheba refused to force-feed him under a new law permitting the force-feeding of imprisoned terrorists in life-threatening condition. While the doctors initially said it would feed the prisoner against his will, this has yet to occur, and the area outside the hospital has become a venue for protests for and against the prisoner. The doctor treating him stated that if he awakens and refuses nutrition, he will not begin force-feeding him. On Sunday afternoon, Arabs gathered for a support rally outside the hospital. A police officer on the scene reported that 4 buses of Arabs from around the country arrived to join the protests, and police tried stopping the buses from entering. Nevertheless, they got off the buses and began protesting by throwing rocks, waving PLO flags, and even using pepper spray. A court spokesman today released a statement to the press that the case of Alon and his hunger strike was going to be heard in the High Court, which will decide if he is to be released. Public Security Minister Gilad Erdan tweeted, "If Alon is released, every security prisoner will hold a hunger strike as a new weapon." In the meantime, security agencies are preparing for violence in the event that Alon dies in Israeli custody. You have been watching the FBN Nightly News. Thank you for joining us this evening.